Crowell, what do you like best about Carson City?
You know, the people have said that Carson City is geographically challenged. I think that's what I like best about Carson City, because it is a small enough community that we can use our geographical challenges as they would. We don't have a whole lot of area, but we use that. We should be using that to our benefit. Carson City, what I like about it, Carson City is the only place that I know of where in one instance you can be downtown in the heart of state government, in the heart of commerce, in the heart of all the political leaders in the state are there, and in 10 minutes you can be out on an open space and trail running in some of the most beautiful country in the world. You can't beat that. And, let me also add this. Another thing that makes Carson City a great place to be is it has excellent health care. We've got one of the finest hospitals in northern Nevada right here on our doorstep. So if we get ill or old or whatever, we've got the facilities here in Carson City. And we need, I just think that's the best part of Carson is it's small enough where we can design our own future. We can get a whole lot of people who are involved in it. And, I couldn't be more proud of what goes on in Carson City. Of course, I'm a runner, so I love the outdoors. In my view, the idea is to capitalize on the great things that Carson City has got going for it. And, the downtown is, I've been in Carson City, for over a half a decade now, or half a century actually. And I've seen the board sidewalks. I've seen, where Carson City came from. And, I know the Carson City downtown has gone through some death knells and is now starting to come back. We can do some great things in downtown once we get that freeway built. We get the traffic off there. And I think that the first order of business is obviously to get the traffic off. The second is to implement the mixed-use zoning, I think, that's on the city plans right now in downtown to make sure we've got a good mix of residents and businesses in that area. And the next area is to take a look at how we are indeed going to design Carson Street to be a cultural cultural center of Carson, so that's where we will be doing the majority of our living in Carson. And so I think, it's important in order to do that. It's highly important to have the community, all of the community, as much as we can get involved in looking at what the plan is so that we're all comfortable. Carson City is a small enough community where we can still derive a pretty good consensus. We're not a large metropolitan area where only a few people are there to drive a consensus. In Carson City, we're small enough where we can get a good, broad cross-section of our town to come to a consensus, and we need to do that so that we have a downtown plan that we're all bought into that will make Carson City really the gem of the West. And there are some things that I think that can be done. I personally kind of like the design that's going to be put in front of the ULI this afternoon. But I think that there's the other thing that's on the drawing books there is the making of a cultural center where the old federal building is, the old post office is. I think that is an excellent idea, and if we could make that come to fruition, move the library there, put a cultural arts center in right in the middle of downtown, that'll be great. And of course, Barry, at the end of the day, downtown is just part of what Carson City is all about. I mean, because I mentioned, that in 10 minutes you can be out in the trails of Carson City. We've got great open open space areas, and so downtown is just one part of what makes Carson City great. And while we focus on downtown, we have to keep our mind on and our eye on what's going on in the greater Carson City area in our county. And so I think we need to make sure that whatever we do downtown is integrated with the rest of Carson City. So that we do make it an attractive place for people to come, live, play, shop, and go to school. And that's a lot. Some would say that that's platitude speaking, but on the other hand, I think what it takes is a vision of what Carson City could be, and I think we're designing that vision. Part of the sacraments process is going to be what that vision is, but I think what we need is a vision to be placed out in the community, and then we need to draw a community consensus around that. And frankly, in the room in here that we just left, you can see a lot of city leaders where that consensus is starting to be built. And frankly, I'm just happy to be down here to go through part of it to see if there's any role I can play in it as a private citizen.